Altuve left the game in the first inning. Framber Valdez, what were you doing? Throwing so many pitches. You can only go 6 innings. And then the Astros individually stranded 20 batters. And it's just like, what's going on with the
Eric,
errors?
stop.
What?
Eric, we're always positive, always Stros. This is Locked On Astros. We won, baby. Like Jeremy Peña, Corey Lee, Super Dubon. I mean, this was a game. Presley threw his 8th perfect inning in the last 8 outings. His first 2 innings, outing. I'm so excited. I can't hold it in. Let's talk about this. Let's be positive, bro. The Astros beat the Angels. They won another series. They head back on a red eye tonight to get back to Houston to come back home to you, the fans. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. You can find the red face fellow over there at H-Town Wheelhouse. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and Instagram, and at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive. Always Stros. Sorry, I let my emotions get the best
really
of me.
Passionate there.
I got passionate and I almost lost my faculties. I was like, oh my gosh. So, dude, this is gonna be a good show. We got some good things to talk about, and another team that we don't like on the East Coast actually got beat by the Reds. We'll talk about that probably mid-show. What goes on around the league.
Alrighty. So thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. And I know on YouTube, we had a lot of people check out the Shohei Ohtani podcast. We had over 5,000 views. Why haven't you checked out the Locked On Astros podcast on YouTube? It just takes a second. Just go there, type in Locked On Astros, hit the little red button, go and give us a like while you're there, and go and tune in on Spotify, tune in, Odyssey, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast. Check out the Locked On Astros podcast and make us your first listen every day. And so yesterday, it wasn't such a great day, but today it was a little bit better. It was a tie game. And I know that Framber Valdez, he didn't have his best stuff in this game. And for the third time this week, you had run score on pass balls by Maldonado. He looks like he's maybe a little bit tired. And this is something that we talked about in yesterday's podcast. I think it's time to give Corey Lee a little bit more playing time. I know the All-Star break is around the corner, but this team looks tired. They look like they're making a lot of errors defensively. We'll talk about that a little bit down the road. But hey, a win is a win, and Jeremy Peña got it done in the 10th inning. And this guy, it just keeps on doing thing after thing. And yes, Dubon made that great catch. I was on the phone with somebody, and I was like, yes. And she was like, wait, what's going on? And I'm like, this guy just made a great catch, and otherwise the run could have scored, and it would have been another tie game, and I probably would have lost my crap.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's so funny. We get so used to this team winning that when things aren't going well against like the Angels, who got swept by the Orioles, I believe, before this, everybody starts freaking out. And I do want to address the Corey Lee thing, because it is important to put context to why he's not out there. And there is good reason why he's not out there. And it's an observation that a friend of mine and I have been having a lot of conversations about the minor leagues. This guy's written for the minors. He does mock drafts for the minors with various podcasts throughout the year. And there are some definite things there that we can look at, that we can point to and say, this is why. But Reed Detmers came out there today, 6 innings pitched, only 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. He looked good. But Framber Valdez, another quality start. He ties Justin Verlander for 15 straight quality starts. That's a club record. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Had he allowed one more earned run, I think he would have qualified for the quality start. But that is huge. Framber Valdez, did you hear about his haircut?
Yeah, I mean,
He
I saw it.
spent like $1,000
And he
or
spent 4
something like
hours
that.
doing it.
4 hours and $1,000 haircut. It was funny. Sparky said, "Now I can see paying 200 or 300, but 1,000." And I mean, he looked cool. You know, he had a swag. He had his chain. He had his ice on his neck, as the kids say. I don't know. I didn't see a rollie on his wrist, but it's all good. My thing is with Framber Valdez going out there, he had his pitches working when he needed them to. He did give up a lot of hits, but when he gets that spin going, when he can place those breaking pitches in the zone, it's impossible for the opposing team to hit.
Yeah.
And this is why this team is so good. You only had 2 runs, and you only scored those 2 runs in the first inning. And so your pitching had to come in and sustain you. Your pitching had to come in and save you.
All right. So Don Wilson did it in 1971. Actually, Mike Scott did it between 1986 and 1987. And also, Mike Scott holds the club record for 20 quality starts in 1986 as well.
But I'm talking about consecutive.
These are
quality
consecutive, I
starts.
believe, as well, too.
No. Justin Verlander owns the record for 15 consecutive quality starts.
Okay, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
the stat I was looking at on there was consecutive as well, but
Yeah, I think that's career quality starts to be on it, or
no, it's
in
not.
a season. Okay,
It was
all right,
consecutive.
I'll look it
So,
up.
but anyway, so this was just an awesome. It was just no matter what, it was just awesome to see what's going on. It was on. It was on the TV earlier, and I paused it and I wrote it down. So it's just awesome to see this. And Mike Scott, what a 1986 season he had, just how good he was and what he did in the playoffs that year. Just what an awesome guy he was. But for Framber Valdez, he had 82 pitches after 4 innings. For him to only throw like 14 pitches the next 2 innings, that was just awesome to kind of, otherwise you would have had to throw out 2 more relievers there. And so that was a good situation there. So it was just awesome to see him just kind of recover there. And he probably could have threw him out there a little bit longer, maybe get another inning out there. He was only at 96 pitches, but I think Dusty Baker did the right thing. And Dusty Baker did say before the game that Framber Valdez is likely to pitch in the All-Star game. So probably not start. I don't think he is one of the best pitchers in the game, but he's one of the better pitchers out there, but I don't think he'll start. But I think that's going to be Shane McClanahan or probably Shohei Ohtani. I think one of those two would probably get the start. But
I think McClanahan deserves it because he is the leading Cy Young candidate right now. So I think he's leading over Justin Verlander. I would be shocked if he didn't get it because last year Shohei was the starting pitcher, was he not?
Right. I think he was. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Awesome. But so it was great. And the only bad thing about this game was the first pitch of the game. I think it was 86 mile per hour slider that Detmers hit Jose Altuve. And he stayed in. He ended up scoring. The Astros got the bases loaded, and it seemed like, okay, this is going to be a game that the Astros are going to score a lot of runs. And but unfortunately, after that, it wasn't until the 10th inning when they got a runner in scoring position. But Altuve would leave the game, and then the Astros later announced that he has left leg contusion. He is day to day, meaning that it's a bruise, it's a deep bruise, and nothing to be overly concerned about. But you have to wonder if he will participate in the All-Star game with this.
Yeah, I really don't see him do. I mean, he may show up, he may be in uniform, but I don't think he doesn't necessarily have to play. He can yield his starting spot to the second place guy.
Right.
But what concerns me most is the way that fans continue to cheer when players are hit by pitches, especially someone like Jose Altuve. It is a shameful act. It is something that if Angels fans could hear themselves, it is absolutely ridiculous, Eric. These fans need to shut their pie hole pretty much. Altuve, anybody. I mean, we don't cheer when Trout gets hurt. We don't cheer when Ohtani gets hurt. We don't cheer when other players. And you should never do that for anybody.
It's
called
mostly
malice.
because it is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and so they're still associated with the Dodgers in some way. So
Well,
that's why they
yeah,
do. So
but they're Anaheim. They're not LA. And people in Anaheim don't say I'm from LA. People in Anaheim say I'm
I
from
know,
Anaheim. That's a league thing.
I
That's
know.
like, anyways.
People
So
still
here's the
hate.
deal.
Yeah,
You know what? Here's the deal. I could care less about that. But let me tell you what I'm not going to buy those Angels fans. I'm not going to buy them like a nice watch or any jewelry anytime soon. But I've got special people in my life. My mom, my wife, people that I love. And if there's an anniversary piece or if there's fine jewelry that I want to purchase, where I would go to BlueNile.com. They're the original online jeweler, high income adults. Hey, you say, whoa, it's your wheelhouse. So I'm not a high income adult. Well, hey, I'm not either. But here's the deal. They have a credibility with the public, with their base, and they have options for all price points. They have been around since 1999. They've helped millions of couples create the perfect engagement ring. So if guys, if it's that time of the year and if it's that season and you're waiting to pop the big question, they use the highest ethical standards observed when sourcing diamonds and jewelry. Whether you're customizing the engagement ring, designing diamond stud earrings, the online jeweler Blue Nile will allow you to create a bigger, more brilliant piece than you can imagine at a price you won't find at a traditional jeweler. Expert advice, 24/7, legendary service with 30-day returns. When you commit to a piece, so does Blue Nile. Guaranteed service and repair for life. Diamond price guaranteed. Contact BlueNile.com and compare a competitor's diamond against ours. In most cases, they can beat their price or meet their price. Not perfect, not a problem. 100% satisfaction guarantee. Shop stress free. So this is what I'm asking you to do to make the moment sparkle with jewelry. And BlueNile.com. Locked On Astros listeners get 50% off, $50 off purchases of $500 or more. That's $50 off, $500 or more. This podcast exclusive includes engagement rings. That's code locked on. Plus, every order is insured, ships free, and arrives in discreet packaging so they won't give away what's inside. Shop stress free and find your forever piece. Go to BlueNile.com today.
all right. You know what's not stress free right now? Watching the Astros play defense. It seems like I know Jeremiah Clapp says, "Do we think the Astros collectively are already on the All-Star break? They're sloppy defensively the whole series." I don't think they are. I think what's going on, and actually Dusty Baker was asked about this before the game. He said that they're all kind of fatigued right now. This is the point in the year. This is the halfway mark. Keep in mind that they had a shortened spring training, and then you're kind of cramming a whole bunch of games in. There hasn't been a lot of off time. So this is fatigue. This is Astros playing really good baseball with the missing Michael Brantley, Alvarez, and then McCullers. You're missing a lot of people. So this team is just a little bit tired. And you can see it definitely in Maldonado. He's missing some pass balls. And I know that somebody like Alex Bregman, who prides himself in defense, he's making some errors, and Jeremy Peña, he's never played this many games as he's going to play this year. So this is going to be this is tough. So the Astros are just going to have to use this All-Star break to take a little rest and then get rejuvenated, because this is going to be a long season. You can't use this. Well, they're tired. And so this is why I know earlier in the season, you kept on saying, well, why are they having to rest a young kid, Peña? This is why, because he hasn't played a lot of baseball, and these guys get tired. It's a long season. It gets hot, even in where in Anaheim and all these different ballparks they play in. So, and these late games, you go from playing early, then you play late games. So, I think that the defense is a result to that, and also I don't know. I don't know why they just struggled this series specifically. Hopefully it switches with the A's, but they got 2 wins still.
Well, I have heard that Dusty Baker said that Stars will rest tomorrow since they get in super late. What's interesting is the A's are coming off of an off day. They are in Houston right now as we speak. So if you're listening on Friday, they got in town on Thursday. So they will be rested up. So the Astros are going to rest some players. So if you're going Friday, there will probably be some stars out. Obviously, Altuve won't be there. Obviously, Brantley won't be there. But they were probably going to rest some others. The Martin Maldonado, Corey Lee situation. I want to put context to it because a lot of people are crying foul, saying Corey Lee needs more starts. I was even saying it last night. I had an extended conversation with a friend of mine, and he said, you got to understand how major league clubs value players, and they value players by the amount of time they give them on the field. And if they didn't give Castro a significant amount of time, and they're not giving Corey Lee a significant amount of time behind the plate, it's because the drop off from Martin Maldonado to Corey Lee is pretty big. And that's
Right.
no knock on Corey Lee. He's a rookie. Okay. We've got to remember he is a rookie. They're going to start him against with Odorizzi. I don't see him getting any other starts. Martin Maldonado has caught the second most games in the league. That does seem a bit much. He is taxed. He is physically worn out. But apparently it's that bad. If the Astros trusted Lee enough or had trusted Castro enough, they would have given Martin Maldonado fewer starts. They're not there yet.
Right.
The fans may be there. The fans may be frustrated. I've even said it, but I have kind of adjusted my expectation there. You don't want to put Corey Lee in a situation where the club doesn't feel comfortable and they put him in a place where he could possibly fail and lose confidence.
So they need somebody else.
Right, they need to, because you can't send him to AAA to get more reps because you don't have anybody else to replace him with. And Castro probably is not coming back. They're not going to go out and get Contreras, though. I mean, you can go out and get someone to help out like a Sean Murphy or someone like that, but that is what you're going to have to
Think
do.
smaller, Brett. Think a lot smaller. Think of
Smaller than
catcher.
Murphy. Murphy's not that big. I mean, he's in Oakland. I mean, Sean Murphy's not. I mean, I don't think that guy.
He's their starting catcher, right?
Yeah, but have you seen their record?
That doesn't mean anything.
I just
he's a starting catcher. They're not going to just give him up.
I'm not saying you give him for like a box of peanuts, okay? But this is my point. You're going to have to stay the course with Martin Maldonado. I mean, people can quit yelling about Corey Lee getting more games because until he's ready, until they feel like he's ready, it's not happening.
All right. So he has Sean Murphy is a free agent in 2026. So he has 3 years of control. He's batting .237 this season with 9 home runs. He has 1 stolen base, 36 RBIs. He has OPS plus of 109, which is better than league average. He has OPS of 716, which is upgrade over Maldonado. So he would be actual upgrade. He is actually a starting catcher. He would cost a lot. I'm talking about a backup catcher, somebody who would complement and be able to start every other day. So that's just something like that. So I think that, he's 27 years old. I'm not saying that's a bad idea, but he hit 17 home runs last year, 59 RBIs. He's a legit catcher. And I don't think that the Astros have enough to really go out and get him and upgrade at other positions without depleting the farm system.
I mean, they're going to have to do something though, Eric. I mean, Michael Brantley, there's no timetable. Altuve now, I mean, they're thin. Where they do have help is they have bullpen. They have plenty of starters. Okay. Lance McCullers, who knows what he's going to be. It's funny. Tonight I went to the Space Cowboys game, and I got to talk to Jimmy Endersby, a friend of the show. He just got called up. Last week when I got to meet him from off of our interview with him in the off season, I told him, I said, "You're going to be up in Sugarland soon." And then I saw him. I said, "See, what did I tell you?" And he goes, hey man, you're pretty good at that. I was like, well, now don't ask me to guess too many other things in your life, but I'll take one for one. And then I saw Hunter Brown and I told him congratulations on the futures game. And he said, I appreciate it. He said, but you know what, honestly, even though I'm thankful for that, he said, I really wish I was pitching at Minute Maid Park. That's the end goal, right? And I said, that is the end goal. And I told him, fans, our show, everybody's talking about like Hunter Brown's got to be on this playoff roster, right? And we're like, there's like so many ways you could fit in this club and help the team on a long playoff stretch, possibly another World Series. And he
Right.
says, he goes, let's just hope the Astros think that. I said, you know what? Right on. And so he said, thank you for the encouraging words. And I encourage y'all, if you go to Space Cowboys game, go stand out in right field, talk to the players, encourage them. They love that. They do great with fan interaction. So that was encouraging talking to Jimmy and Hunter tonight.
All right, I'm trying to pull it up, but some people are mentioning Tyler Stephenson from the Reds, and he is somebody who is not a free agent until 2027. He is 3 years into the season, to his career, and he is actually a legit catcher. He's batting 321 with the OPS of 863, OPS plus of 131 with 6 home runs. He's going to cost a lot. You may have to actually trade Corey Lee to get him. I mean, if you're looking for your long-term person at catcher, Stevenson would be your guy.
See, but they're not
Yeah,
looking for a long term, because their long term right now is Corey Lee.
right.
They don't need a long term solution. Marty Maldonado's
That's what I'm
still
saying.
going to,
It's going to cost a
yeah,
lot to get Stevenson, and
yeah. You're not
so
going to get
we got to
Stevenson.
think smaller. And we're going to save this conversation for a show we're going to do
That's
later
right. We're
on.
going to do a
But
trade show. Yeah.
yes. So going off, kind of off the injury situation, I know we don't know what's going on with Jason Castro, but earlier in the week, we did have Dusty Baker say that Michael Brantley was improving. He's supposed to start swinging today, and hopefully we'll have him back after an all-star break. But now, today, we heard that Michael Brantley flew back to Houston to be evaluated, and it didn't feel right. He said that he tried to swing earlier this week, and it didn't feel right. And Dusty Baker was asked if it was a setback. He said, no, not a setback. It's just not going forward. Whatever that
Okay.
means.
So basically he's the same. Like nothing's changed is what he's saying. Like it hasn't gotten worse, hadn't gotten better. It's the same, right?
Right.
So he's not ready. That's basically
Yeah.
what he's saying. It's
That's
gonna be a while, kids.
Right. They thought he was ready to go, and then they realized, okay, he's not quite ready to go. So we're going to have to hold the horses, put him back in the stable for a little bit, and see what's going on. But the problem is the Astros are without Alvarez. They're hoping that he's back for the right after All-Star break. But what if he's not quite ready? And what's the word? It's not a setback, but it's just not a go forward situation. And then you're without the hitters, your main hitters going into the trade deadline. That will lead up to our trade deadline show. Like, are you going to go out and make a big time trade? Because right now, Jose Siri is playing left field. He didn't look good today. And then you have Jake Myers and then Kyle Tucker. Aledmys Diaz has been doing pretty good, but how long can he carry this up? The Astros are missing some key at bats, but the key thing is that they're playing some weak competition for right now. And how long can you bet on these guys? That's the question. Let's talk about Bet Online.
Yeah, so betonline.net is the number one source for all your sports betting needs and info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, news, including this year's NHL draft and what that means for each team. The Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. If you were watching the British Open, Tiger Woods was -5 when I was watching it. Wasn't having a great day at the course, but that is a brutal course over there on the other side of the pond. So head to the website today and use the mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. Bet online, where the game starts.
Thoughts by Dusty.
Well, this isn't really a thought. I thought it was a thought, but this is on Jose Altuve. Dusty Baker said he wasn't going to play tomorrow anyway, and there'll be several guys off. But I think you already mentioned that earlier.
Yes,
but,
I did. Yeah.
So anyway, the Astros did win 3-2. The Astros are 58-30. So they are 28 games above 500. So they still are doing good. Ryan Presley, he has retired 24 straight batters since blowing the save against the Yankees last month. He threw 2 innings for the first time since May 6th, and he of 2021. And he did so by saving the bullpen. I mean, there weren't many relievers available after Christian Javier only pitched 3 and 2/3 innings the game before. So Ryan Presley had to put his big boy pants on, so to speak, and take care of business today. And he did. And that's what the great closers have to do. And so what did you see from the relievers today?
Oh, I mean, Montero comes in, he's throwing absolute gas. Neris, I think he had like 1 or 2 hits, but Neris is dependable as he usually is. And Presley, gets his first 2-inning save since actually 2-inning work since May of last year, like May 23rd or something like that. And so I think that's huge. Presley is gaining confidence. I mean, people like Presley, the feel for Presley in our fan base is they love him when he does great, but when he's not great, they're like, oh my gosh, he's the worst. He has 8 consecutive perfect innings right now on the mound. I mean, this guy just gets it done. Yeah, let's see. Neris, okay, 2 hits. I was right. 1 strikeout. Montero, 3 Ks. Presley,
2 walks.
3 Ks. Two walks, but 3
I'm Debbie
Ks,
Downer.
Eric. Okay, thank you. Always positive, always Astros, bro. 3 strikeouts. Yeah, he got 2 walks. He should. Presley actually should have threw a few less pitches because they made some terrible calls, like strike zone strikes, calling them balls. Just like, what are you doing? Are you trying to win the game for the Angels? And, this Angels organization, man, I mean, it's brutal. But you know what? You know what else was brutal happened today? The New York Yankees lost to the Cincinnati Reds. The Cincinnati Reds defeated them in the 10th inning, 7-6 in extra innings. And this is a series win for the Reds. I mean, this is huge. I mean, this is massive. The Yankees are trying to keep pace for the best record in Major League Baseball. And the Astros continue to take steps closer to tying them because now they're at 62-27. Houston's at 58-30. I mean, this is great news. The Astros are 7-3 in their last 10 games. The Yankees are 4-6. This is a really good trend I like to see. And even though Seattle did win their 11th game, and I was upset that Bob Nightingale tweeting out about their streak did not jinx their streak. I guess jinxes aren't real now because I thought Bob Nightingale jinxed everything. He would jinx Thanksgiving dinner if he could. That's just who he is. But, the Mariners continue to win. But again, I'm not worried about the Mariners because the Astros can play crappy ball and still win games.
Yeah, for sure. And don't forget that this weekend, this next week is a MLB draft, and the actual Astros actually have a first and second round pick. That's awesome. The draft will take place between the 17th and the 19th in Los Angeles, beginning at 6 p.m. on the 17th with the first 80 picks. The Astros will have the first pick at 28, which is the bonus pick. The pool money for that would be $2.6 million. And then they'll also have a pick on 64th, which is 1.1 approximately million. And then 80th pick, which will be 806,000 bonus pool. And so the Astros have a total bonus pool money of $12.8 million or so to spend on those three picks. So the
So
Astros will have 3 picks to spend with that. And
so
go ahead.
so their first pick, there are several mock drafts that I've looked at, and Sterling Thompson out of Florida is a guy that people are eyeing, that the Astros have actually been have close ties to. Okay. Um, it's the same group of college hitters. Thompson is one of the better pure hitters of who's left, and so he gets the nod over Melton or Beck right now. Let me tell you what I found out about this when they are drafting players. So if the Astros have been talking to Starling Thompson, and another club who's above them wants to take this guy at 24 or 25, they will call the player. And if the player has a solid enough relationship with the Astros, they're going to say, "We're really looking at you. We like your tools, kid. We want to sign you." And he will say, "You know, I'm really counting on the Astros picking me up because I really like what they have in their system. They actually work well with my tool set, and so, I mean, really honestly, I really want to go to the Astros because they've got big things for me over there."
Right.
And what a team doesn't want to do is they don't want to pick a disenfranchised player. They don't want to pick a player. And the Astros did that. And I forget the kid's name. The Astros did that last year with a guy named, I think it was Yuri or whatever. And they shouldn't have signed him because there was another team hot on him, and the Astros picked him anyways. And he was the only player that didn't sign with them.
Right.
So it's really a chess match. And these draftees, it's almost like a marriage or a dating. It's like they are connected. Like if you have a relationship with this player, that player is going to go tell other teams, "I really want to go to them." Like
Right.
if the kid wants to be a Yankee, he's going to tell the Astros, "I want to be a Yankee." And so they're going to go for the best target available. They're not going to go for a specific position. And they've got a first round pick. They haven't had that. This is the first draft in over 2 years. They haven't had they've gotten a first round pick. So
Yeah. All right. So the athletic series at home will start tomorrow. It's going to be Jake Odorizzi versus Cole Irvin. And Irvin probably wishes he was on a different team because he's 3-7 with a 3.32 ERA, which would probably be reversed on most teams.
oh yeah.
Odorizzi is 4-2 with a 3.38 ERA. So who's had success against Irvin? Ledmiz Diaz is batting 273. Then you have Corey Lee has 1 hit and 2 at-bats. Chas McCormick is batting 429 with 1 home run. And Jake the Rake Myers is 3 for 4 against him with a home run. And I guess Kyle Tucker is batting 267 with a home run. So who's had success against Odorizzi? Let's say Sean Murphy is batting 400 against him. Nobody's hit a home run against him. Tony Kemp, 500. Chad Penders, 333. So this should be an interesting matchup. Odorizzi's first game back was terrible. His second game was
Yeah,
great.
he's fine. It's the Oakland
Yeah.
A's. I mean, this is a bad team, Eric.
Well,
I mean, it's not a good team. these guys are bottom of the barrel. They're the Orioles of the West. And
yeah.
I know we like to say, "Oh, they're a scrappy team. They play us tough." But I mean, this year they're not playing anybody tough. They've only won 30 games. They've lost twice as many games as they've won. We've won twice as many games as we've lost. So, 29 games out of first place. Yeah, this series, Stars are going to be resting. Corey Lee will get a chance to start. It'll be at home. Hopefully, he can dial up on studying a little bit Cole Irvin tomorrow, and taking
That's
people
right.
to Crawford
Odorizzi did
boxes.
pitch against him last time, so it was
Yeah,
against the A's. So yeah.
yeah. So here you go. I think it sets up nicely for some Friday night fireworks as well. I mean, they're giving
And
away cool stuff. So
And don't forget that Verlander will be on the mound on Saturday. Hopefully, all his family matters have been settled because he's been away from the team. So we haven't heard anything about that. But I think that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. We'll be checking back sometime this weekend, maybe. And hopefully the Astros take care of business and we have a great all-star break and we ready to face those Dane Yankees on next week. So my name is Eric Huysman. His name is H-Town Wheelhouse. We are the Locked On Astros podcast. Make sure you check us out, and make sure you check out the MLB draft show starting July 17th on the Locked On MLB Prospects podcast. Right after the first round of MLB draft, join the MLB Prospects expert Lindsey Crosby and MLB expert Jeff Ellis as they go deep into on the future stars of MLB baseball. Subscribe now on the MLB Prospects so you get notified when they go live on MLB draft night, and maybe they get to talk about the Astros prospects. Yes, sir.
And we have 69 viewers. Nice.
Really? Really? Are you in high school? No, are you in middle school?
Come on, man.
And with that, that's all we got. Go Astros.